is an uncomfortable question. Think of a belief you hold deeply, something about what is normal, what is shameful, what is obviously right. Now ask yourself, honestly, did you actually arrive at that belief? Or was it simply installed in you long before you were old enough to question it? Whose thoughts are these? We walk around feeling like the authors of our own minds. But a great deal of what you think of as you, your tastes, your values, your sense of what is even thinkable, was quietly written by the society you happen to be born into. There is a name for this hidden layer. It is called the social unconscious, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There is an old little story. Two young fish are swimming along, and an older fish passes them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" The two young fish swim on, and after a while one turns to the other and asks, "What on earth is water?" That is the social unconscious exactly. It is not the things you argue about. It is the things so deeply assumed that you never even notice them as assumptions. The water you swim in. Every society has its own water. Things that are unquestionably true to the people inside it and completely invisible to them, precisely because everyone agrees. You do not see your own culture's deepest beliefs for the same reason a fish does not see the ocean. You are soaking in them. Now, I want to draw one careful line, because this idea is often confused with another. You may have heard of the collective unconscious, the famous idea from Carl Jung. That refers to deep, possibly inherited patterns shared across all of humanity, ancient symbols, archetypes, instincts. But the social unconscious is something different, and in a way more unsettling. It is not inherited from the dawn of our species. It is learned. It is specific to your particular society, your particular moment in history. It is the set of beliefs your culture trains into you and then teaches you never to question. Jung's idea is about what all humans share. This is about what your specific tribe quietly demands that you believe, and that is something we can actually watch happen in a laboratory. In the 1950s, the psychologist Solomon Asch ran an experiment so simple it is almost comical. He showed people a line and then 3 other lines and asked which one matched. The answer was obvious. A child could do it perfectly. But there was a trick. Everyone else in the room was secretly an actor, and on certain rounds, they all confidently gave the same wrong answer. So now the real subject sits there, their own eyes telling them one thing, and the entire group calmly insisting on another. And what happened? A staggering number folded. About 75% of people denied the clear evidence of their own eyes at least once to agree with the group. Not because they were fooled, but because standing alone against everyone was simply unbearable. Now you might think, well, those people knew the right answer. They just lied to fit in. And for some of them, that is true. But decades later, scientists ran a version of this experiment inside a brain scanner, and they found something far more disturbing. When people conform to a wrong group answer, the activity was not only in the parts of the brain that handle conscious decisions, it showed up in the regions that handle actual perception. We don't just agree, we start to see. In other words, the social pressure was not just making people say the wrong thing. It appears to have changed what they genuinely perceived. The group did not only bend their behavior, it reached in and bent their reality. That is how deep this goes. Conformity is not always a choice we make. Sometimes it is a lens we look through. And here is where it gets bigger than any single room. At any moment, every society has an invisible window, a range of ideas that are considered acceptable to even say out loud. Thinkers call it the window of acceptable opinion. Inside the window, an idea is normal, reasonable, sayable. Outside it, the very same idea sounds shocking, or shameful, or insane. And the unsettling thing is how much that window moves. Practices that were once completely normal and defended by almost everyone now horrify us. And ideas that would have ended a person's life in ruin a century ago are now simply common sense. The people inside each era did not feel like they were inside a window. They felt like they were simply seeing reality, exactly as we do now, which raises a quiet, uncomfortable question. Which of our own certainties will look unthinkable in 100 years? So why are we like this? Why are we so easily shaped by the crowd? The answer is not that we are weak. It is that we are built this way by a very long history. For almost all of human existence, to be cast out of your group was a death sentence. You could not survive the wilderness alone. The tribe was everything: food, safety, warmth, identity. So evolution wired us with a deep, powerful hunger to belong and a genuine physical dread of being rejected. Agreeing with the group was not foolishness. It was survival. The trouble is that this ancient wiring is still running inside us today, in a world of billions, where the cost of an unpopular opinion is rarely death. We still feel that primal pull to fit in, even when there is nothing left to fear but a little disapproval. So let us return to where we started, but with sharper eyes. The language you think in, you did not invent. The values you call your own were mostly absorbed from parents, from school, from the particular decade and place you grew up in. Your sense of what is beautiful, what is embarrassing, what success even means, all of it carries the fingerprints of 1,000 people you never chose. This does not make you a puppet, but it does mean the self you feel so sure of is, in large part, a chorus of borrowed voices that you have learned to call I. Mostly, you were written. The hard truth of the social unconscious is that the call is often coming from inside the house. Many of the thoughts that feel most like yours were handed to you by everyone else. And yet, this is not a hopeless story, because here is the one thing that fish in the water can never do, and you can. You can become aware of the water. You will never escape your culture entirely. No one does, and you would not want to. But the simple act of noticing changes everything. When you feel a flash of certainty, you can now pause and ask, is this actually mine? Or is it just the water I was raised in? When you feel that pull to agree, you can recognize the ancient fear underneath it and choose anyway. See the water, choose again. You cannot leave the ocean, but you can stop mistaking it for the whole of reality. And in that small gap between the belief you were handed and the belief you decide to keep lives the only real freedom of thought there is. So the next time you are certain, absolutely certain, that something is just obviously true, hold that certainty a little more lightly. Ask where it came from. Ask who would disagree and why. Not to abandon all your beliefs, that way lies chaos, but to know which ones you have actually chosen and which ones simply chose you. You are not a blank slate, and you are not a free-floating mind. You are something in between, a person shaped by a crowd, but capable, in rare and quiet moments, of seeing the crowd for what it is. That seeing is the whole game. So let me leave you with this. If If you stripped away every belief you absorbed without questioning, how many of your certainties would actually survive? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more ideas that quietly hand you back to yourself, subscribe to First Principles Talk. We're just getting started.